Dear Chief of Protocol for the LA County, is that better? Yes. Dear Council Member of Culver City, Messieurs les responsables religieux, dear religious leaders, Monsieur le Président des conseillers consulaires, Madame la conseillère consulaire, dear councilors, Mesdames, Messieurs, les présidents d'associations françaises, dear representatives of the French community, Messieurs les directeurs de lycées et enseignants, dear school principals and teachers, chers amis, dear friends. Merci à chacune et à chacun d'entre vous d'avoir accepté cette invitation à nous réunir aujourd'hui. I am very grateful to our non-French speaking friends for making the trip to participate to this ceremony. I would therefore like to ask my fellow citizens to allow me to express myself both in French and in English. Nous sommes réunis aujourd'hui pour rendre hommage à Samuel Paty, assassiné sauvagement, décapité en pleine rue, le 16 octobre par un terroriste islamiste. We are gathered here today to pay tribute to Samuel Paty, who was brutally murdered, beheaded, in the street on October 16 by an Islamist terrorist. I wish today to offer my condolences to the family of Samuel Paty, to his relatives, to his students, and to express my solidarity with all the teachers who were particularly upset by this heinous act. And I would like to warmly greet the teachers who are with us today. Yesterday, a march to pay tribute to Samuel Paty was organized in his city, Conflans-Sainte-Honorine, and a minute of silence was observed by all members of the French National Assembly. Today in France, as we speak, a national tribute is taking place. The President of the Republic has chosen, in consultation with Samuel Paty's family, to pay this tribute at the Sorbonne University, to honor the teaching profession, and because the Sorbonne symbolizes the spirit of the Enlightenment. During this national tribute, Samuel Paty will be posthumously made Knight of the Légion d'honneur. Here, in the United States of America, French Embassy and the 10 French consulates have all organized ceremonies like this one today. And we have invited members of our French community to observe a minute of silence from their homes. The consulate team here in Los Angeles observed a minute of silence in the consulate this morning. In a few days, on November the 2nd, all schools in France will be paying tribute to Samuel Paty. Samuel Paty was 47-year-old. He was a professor of history and geography. He taught teenage students in a middle school. And it was precisely because he was a teacher that he was murdered. He was murdered because he was teaching his students what freedom of expression is, illustrating his words with the cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad published in a newspaper, Charlie Hebdo, also the target of a terrorist attack in January 2015 that cost the lives of 12 people who worked for that newspaper. This terrorist attack on a teacher, because he was a teacher, is an attack on the institution that the school represents and its missions. The mission to transmit knowledge, the mission to teach children to think freely, help them develop their critical thinking skills, teach them to express their thoughts, respect the thoughts of others, debate, and enrich each other. Or in other words, the mission to form enlightened future citizens. It is also an attack on the very foundations of the French Republic: freedom, equality, fraternity, and on the values it promotes: freedom of expression, secularism, tolerance, freedom to believe, and the freedom not to believe. Only a few days before this terrorist attack, the President of the Republic delivered a speech in Meaux, where he presented a strategy to fight against Islamist separatism in France. This strategy is based on the idea of a republican awakening of all citizens to defend secularism. For this secularism guarantees freedom of worship, the freedom to believe or not to believe, the neutrality of the government with regard to religions, the respect for all cults, and the fight against fanaticism. The teaching of this secularism, the teaching of these freedoms and tolerance of others rely heavily on teachers like Samuel Paty. All the ceremonies I have mentioned earlier and our ceremony today testify to the immense shock, the sense of dread that we all feel in the face of such a barbaric gesture. They testify to the immense sadness and mourning that we all share. They are also a testament to all the gratitude we have for the teacher Samuel Paty, for what he did and for what he embodied. Je vous propose à présent d'écouter l'hymne national de la France, la Marseillaise, puis nous observerons une minute de silence en la mémoire de Samuel Paty. Je vous remercie une nouvelle fois pour votre participation. Merci à tous. Thanks again for participating in this ceremony. This means a lot to us. Thank you.